Guten Tag, my name is Chip, and I am what you might call a Brit. But in 2017, I decided to Brexit out of there and try something new by moving to a completely different country. So today, I will be sharing some things that I've noticed or experienced while being here that have made me think, wow, for once in my life, I have actually made a decision that I haven't regretted within exactly 12 seconds. Los geht's! So, big ol' disclaimer time. I want you to pay very close attention to the title of this video, in particular this symbol right here. This is called I. Those of you with common sense will know that that means I as in me, as in this video is about my personal experiences, and not 5 reasons why Germany is the best country objectively, #facts, #not clickbait, loosely related emoji. Your experiences, depending on where you're from, are probably a lot different, and that's awesome. Interesting, in fact. So whether you're from Germany or a different country entirely, please let me know what it's like living there so I can flex my knowledge of places I've never been to people who probably don't care. Okay, let's actually get on with the list now. The food. When you think of Germany, you probably don't think of the food, but you should, because it has some heckin' good nom-noms. The cream of the crop, of course. The schnitzel. What is this so-called schnitzel, you may ask? Well, you take some meat, usually veal, whack it a bunch, bread it, and fry it. Serve it with some lemon, yes lemon, and you got yourself one tasty boy mit pommes. But, Chip, schnitzel comes from Austria. Another food I've been absolutely loving since being here is döner. That's Turkish. Actually, the version of the döner commonly found in Germany is said to have been developed here, but it doesn't matter. Nothing is original, everything is stolen, and that's awesome because it means that Germany has a really wide range of international food. Seriously, coming from England where you get an ice cream truck for one day in the summer maybe, to ice cream cafes on every street corner, oof, I'm spoiled. Never before have I felt so worldwide. And I know the versions of the foods I'm getting here is probably nowhere near the quality I'd get in the actual countries where they come from, but heck, compared to the dry, plasticky, dreadful excuse for sushi I get from the supermarket back in my hometown, this stuff is luxury. Coming from a small village where the only eating out option is fish and chips, the amount of new things I've been able to try out since being here is amazing. The language. A lot of people rag on German for sounding aggressive. You got these videos with ridiculously polite looking people from like France and Italy, and then you got the German guy. Look how mad he is. Anything can sound aggressive if you try. Here, let me show you. Aeroplane! Flugzeug. Butterfly! Schmetterling. Daisy! Gänseblümchen. It's a joke about rude British people and done. The language. Yeah, I wasn't done, I just didn't know how to transition from that joke. So learning German is supposed to be pretty hard. And believe me, it has its fair share of hogwash that I will get into on a later date, oh don't you worry. But once you get past that, you realize it's quite the expressive language. This being the first language I've properly learned, it's been fun discovering lots of phrases and expressions that don't really exist in English. And I've been surprised by how many I wish existed in English. This is pretty common in other cultures too, but when you're about to eat a meal with others, it's common courtesy to say, Guten Appetit. It basically just means enjoy your meal, but works as kind of a signal to start eating, which I think is pretty nice. Anyway, I got so used to saying this that when I went back to visit my family and we had a meal together, it just felt so wrong. It was so silent. How do I know when to start eating? Am I gonna have a good meal? It was so awkward. Another word I enjoy is doch. Doch is something you say, for example, when you're arguing with someone like, Chip Flake is not cool. And you'd be like, doch? As in, yeah they are. See how long it takes in English? In German all it takes is one sassy word. And it's another one of those words I keep wanting to say in English. You should not subscribe to Chip Flake. Yes you should. I mean, if you want to, I'm not forcing you or anything. Traffic light laws. In Germany, if you're caught crossing the street while the pedestrian light is still red, you'll be fined €5. And that's awesome. No longer will I panic as people start crossing before it says it's safe to. No longer will I be pressured by my friend who is too impatient to wait at the crossing and almost get run over because the car didn't see me because I'm too small. Guess what, guys? There's this thing, this amazing thing, where you press a button and the cars stop for you, so you can cross the road safely. But Chip, there's always bad drivers on the road. What if they ignore you and hit you anyway? Well, guess what? In that situation, it's not your fault, so the driver takes all the blame for it. Whoa, that sounds amazing. Hold on, I have to wait for 30 more seconds for the cars to fully stop before I'm allowed to go? Nah, I'd rather just cross the moment I press the button and glare at you angrily as I go past, as if being slightly in my way is more important than your personal safety. It's clean. The moment I got here, I noticed just how much cleaner it is compared to my hometown. Sure, you still see litter around, but it's noticeably considerably less. Germany as a whole is pretty good with recycling, and it's great because the streets look a lot nicer and it's overall more pleasant to live in. They have this system called Pfand, which means that you pay a little extra for drinks in bottles and cans, but get that money back when you take the empty can or bottle back to the store. Many Germans find this system pretty annoying because you end up gathering a huge pile of bottles, which is a pain to transport, and then when you decide to give them in and get your money back, coincidentally, everyone within a 50-mile radius has also decided to deposit their giant bag of bottles at this very time in this very store. Not to mention the difficulty of actually trying to use the machines. These things love to reject your bottles for no reason, and are constantly broken and out of service when they're needed the most. It sounds pretty bad, but honestly I think it's totally worth it. Bottles and cans are some of the most commonly littered rubbish items, and glass bottles in particular can be pretty heckin' dangerous when they're smashed on the floor. So yeah, absolutely worth it. Please fix your fan machines though. So those are some things that I've been enjoying about Germany since moving here. As I said earlier, if you noticed any interesting similarities or differences compared to where you live, I'd love to hear them in the comments. And you're probably thinking, wow, Chip really likes this place, huh? Well, as you probably know, the universe dictates that no one is allowed to enjoy something too much, therefore there must always be downsides. So join me in about 2 weeks' time for things I hate about Germany. Of course, if you're watching this in the future, it's already out and I'll put a link right here. If not, you can subscribe to me and ring the bell and you'll get notified when it comes out. So see you then. Cheers!